Hi, welcome back to Paxbytes. I am Hey Paxton. Today we're going to get into something fun. One of the things that I like to do with my teams is do icebreakers. And if you work in any organization, you know the monotony of going from meeting to meeting to meeting. And so some people like to do icebreakers to break up the routine a little bit, also gets people's brains going. Well, one thing that AI is really good at doing is icebreakers. I like to make little icebreaker quizzes on various topics. It could be a topic that we've been talking about at work. It could be just some fun news. It could be research. It could be a variety of things. Just whatever gets people's brains going. And so I'm going to show you how I use AI to do this. In particular, I'm going to use Claude. I'm not going to do any code. I'm just going to use the desktop Claude app, and we're going to generate a link that we can share with others, which is helpful, especially when you work remotely like I do. So let's just jump in. So one thing I am going to do for the sake of video, because I think it just helps to dictate what I'm doing, is I'm going to use a tool called Whisperflow. Whisperflow is a tool that you can talk into. So it records what you're saying and it can just like dictate that into the prompt without you having to type everything. And I find this is useful when you are talking with AI. Sometimes it's just easier to just say out loud what you're doing and get the thoughts out. Gets me out of my head too, especially as a pretty introspective person. So if you do decide to use Whisperflow, it helps me out. I have an affiliate link, whisperflow.ai/Paxbytes. I will put it in the description of the chat. You can try it out and see how you like it. So let's get going. What this is the Claude interface if you've never seen it. You may use other tools at work. You may use ChatGPT, you may use Gemini. I use Claude a lot, but I also use other tools, and you'll see me use other tools within the context of the Paxbytes channel. But what we're going to do today, I really like to show Martin. It's something that I grew up. It was a favorite of mine. We used to spend time just waiting on the show to come on a primetime television, and me and my friends would talk about the episode all the next week at school. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a 5-question quiz. We're going to ask Claude to make a 5-question quiz to that we could share with folks and do an icebreaker for a group of folks. One of the things I like to do with AI is I like to give it some context. Now you could just type this in and Claude will go out and search the internet or whatever it needed to do to find information, but I've gathered some information that I want to just throw in for context. And I've also got some images that I'm going to use to um, as representation or examples of how I want this to look. So let's just jump into it. I'm going to, like I said, dictate this using Whisperflow. So, Claude, today I want to create a 5-question quiz based on the TV show Martin, featuring Martin Lawrence. And I want to use this as an icebreaker for the beginning of my meeting. Should be something quick. I want the design to look like the aesthetic of the show, but also be creative. In the end, I would also like a link that I can share out with people because I work remotely. So now you'll see that that prompt has been inserted by my Whisperflow tool. And what I'm going to do as well is I'll type this part. Here's a link to a wiki for the show. Use this as a reference to create the quiz. And then lastly, I'll throw in some images that I downloaded, and we'll just drag those over here. I've attached a few images to show you the look of the show and some inspiration for the quiz. So let's see what we get here. Alrighty. So now Claude is going to think. It's going through examining for the quiz implementation. It's going to go through the wiki. It's going to look at the images that I put in, and it tells you what skills it's using. I'll talk about skills a little later, but this is more integrated into Claude now. You can create your own skills as well, but that's a more advanced topic for a later time. But we're just going to get quick here. Understands it's a Pan-African theme, so definitely linking it to the diaspora. Detroit energy all the way. Okay, so it does recognize that the show is based in Detroit. So now it's going into building mode. Again, this is quick. You can spend a lot of time refining these, but I typically don't because it's just a quick thing I can throw in front of a team, and it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to just get something working. And if you notice down here, you can select which models you can use. You might want to use a quicker model sometimes. It just takes less time, especially if it's something more deterministic where you already have the information and it gives the AI the right context right away. For the sake of this, I'm using Sonnet 4.6, and you can see here it says this is for the most efficient everyday tasks. So we're waiting. This must be doing some intensive thinking, more intensive thinking than I thought. I think this is because I have this adaptive thinking on, thinks for more complex tasks. And so it's doing a lot of extra thinking. I should have turned that off because this would run way faster, but it shouldn't be too much longer. Tuning into what's up. That's awesome. Bro man from the fifth floor reference. All right, the quiz is ready. All right, so this little icon opens up the sidebar. It's got a render, it's rendering the preview right here in the chat. Okay, how well do you know the show? This is really cool. All right, so it's rendering the quiz right here in the chat. What radio station does Martin Payne work at throughout the show? And if we know the answer is what's up. Next question. Which floor does the legendary character Bruh Man always claim to come from? It's definitely the fifth floor. What city serves as the home base for Martin, Gina, Tommy, Cole, and Pam? Detroit City. What up, though? Which of these is a character that Martin Lawrence did not play on the show? Man, Big Wanda. Yes, Big Wanda, Cole's girlfriend. And what year did Martin first premiere on Fox? Oh man, this is actually a hard one. I'm going to say 93. No, it's 92. Oh, okay. August of 92 and ran for 5 seasons. So see my score? Give you a score. I got a 4 out of 5. You got to be from the fifth flow yourself with knowledge like that. I love this. This is amazing. It got the aesthetic down. This is amazing. I would love to share this. So the next thing that you can actually do, so you can download this or publish an artifact. For the sake of this, you could you could download to your computer. It would save the HTML file, but I'm going to publish an artifact. So I'm going to publish it to the web, and you can see here anyone with the link can view the artifact, and it might show up in search engine results. They say. The chat will stay private. You can share with your team. Only teammates with the link can view it. If this is some like company stuff, internal stuff that you don't want to share, I would put share with team only. That way you can share the link with folks. So for the purposes of this, I'm actually going to publish it to the web. So I'm going to copy the link. And then I'm going to go over to my browser and I'm going to paste that in. And there's our quiz right there. This is awesome. So, anytime that you are looking to do icebreakers or just little quizzes for your teams, this is a fun way to do it. And again, you see how fast I was able to do that with no code, no big requirements, and it was easily shareable within just minutes. So next time you're doing something with your team, I would love to hear how in the comments or just DM me and let me know if this is something you've done for your team or something you've tried or want to try. Thank you again for tuning in. And then next week, don't forget, I did say that we're going to get into Claude Design. We're going to look at what I am doing for the Paxbytes landing page. This is a longer session. One thing that I figured out is Claude Design uses a ton of tokens. It is not a feature that is out in general. I believe they might have it in beta or testing. It's still part of Anthropic's labs where they publish certain experiments. And so looking forward to sharing that with you. Again, thanks for tuning in to Paxbytes. We'll see you in the next one.